I'm going to show you how to build your first $10,000 app using Cursor AI, V0, and Claude. Anyone can do this using AI. This one looks interesting. Content calendar with integrated idea management. Help writers plan content, track ideas over time. I kind of like this one. Boom, look at that. We have an actual true content calendar we built in just a few minutes. We're going to go through generating ideas for your software, and go through how to build out the software itself with no coding at all. And then we're going to talk about how to market and sell it to your community. This is something I'm doing right now with my own piece of software I built. So I'm going to go through everything that's worked for me, everything that hasn't, and show you how you can do the exact same things I'm doing. So the first thing we're going to do is cover idea generation with Claude. Claude is the most powerful AI tool I've used when it comes to creativity and generating ideas. I'm going to show you step by step how I discover challenges that we can solve with AI. Next, I'll show you how to actually build the app. We'll do that with Cursor and V0. Cursor and V0 are the two most powerful AI tools I've ever used. They make it super easy to build out any idea really quick, again, with no coding at all. I'll go through beginning to end how to use both those tools so you can build the software yourself. Then lastly, we'll go through maybe the most important step of them all, which is distribution, to actually build a community around your ideas and your software so that you can start selling your solutions to your community. I'll show you how I built 220,000 followers over on Twitter and how you can use that to sell to your audience. Complete beginner's guide. Anyone should be able to follow along. Feel free to download the software as we go and do everything I'm doing. Let's buckle in and get into it. Let's start with generating ideas for apps using Claude. This is Claude. You can use ChatGPT if you want. I just so far have found when it comes to creative ideas, Claude is the best. So the first thing you want to think about is, what is your niche? What niche are you trying to solve problems in? For me, I have 220,000 followers on X. I regularly talk about writing. I want to solve writers' problems. So here's the prompt I'm going to put into Claude. I want to build a SaaS that is going to solve problems. Right now, I'm interested in content creators. Please give me the top 10 problems content creators have specifically when it comes to writing. So for you, you would take this prompt and put in whatever it is your niche is. Put that in here and we're going to hit enter. So what we're looking for is problems that we can build a SaaS solution to solve. So here are the top 10 problems content creators have when it comes to writing: writer's block, idea generation, maintaining consistency, time management, SEO, adapting content. There's a lot of things that are already coming to my head here. SEO optimization, being able to build an app that gives SEO recommendations with AI. But I think the one I really want to go for is writer's block idea generation. This is a problem I've had before, and now I want to build a solution for it. The best problems to solve are the ones that you've had yourself, and now you can build solutions for it. So we've chosen the problem we're going to solve, writer's block idea generation. Now let's figure out solutions to solve it. Again, Claude is fantastic at this. So the prompt I put in was, I like problem number 1. What are some software solutions we can build to solve that? We hit enter. Claude's now going to help us generate ideas for apps we can possibly build. So we have a bunch of ideas here. AI-powered content idea generator. Sounds pretty good. Visual brainstorming tool, writing prompt database, and randomizer. This one looks interesting. Content calendar with integrated idea management. Help writers plan content, track ideas over time. I kind of like this one. I kind of like the idea of having an idea generator and a calendar all in the same place so we can quickly come up with ideas and schedule them. I like this. I think this is the one we're going to build out. So we found out our problem. We found out our solution. Now let's actually build this out. We're going to go over to V0. This is V0. This is where we're going to start building out our solution. V0 is the best UI generator I've ever used in my entire life. It's powered completely by AI. You don't need to know any programming, any coding. You put in your idea, it builds it out. This is v0.dev. Feel free to follow along and use this as we go along. But you basically just tell the app what you want to build and it builds it for you. We're going to build the UI here, and then we're going to go into Cursor and actually build out the functionality through Cursor. And before we build out this UI, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you learned anything so far. Leave a like and then let me know in the replies what you'd like me to build next in my next videos. So I put in my prompt here. I want to build a content creation tool that lets users input and save content ideas and then put the ideas on a content calendar. You should have an input where users can write out ideas and then save them onto the calendar. So I took the exact solution we came up with in Claude, and now we're going to actually build it out with V0. So what V0 did here is it took the prompt we put in of exactly what we wanted to build. It built out all the code for us. I didn't have to write a single line of code, and it built the UI. And then now we can take this UI and build out the functionality in Cursor. If we wanted to change more things in here, you absolutely could. You can go back into the chat, ask a follow-up question, say, change this. I want to change this. You can go back and forth with your AI if you want, but I actually really like the way this looks. You can enter in your content idea, YouTube video about Cursor. I can hit add idea. It goes in there and then it puts the idea in our content idea list. And then we can eventually put it onto our calendar. We'll build that functionality out with Cursor. So V0, really great way to take our solutions and build it out with AI. Now we're going to take this UI and build it out with Cursor. So this is Cursor. This is the most powerful AI tool I've ever used. This allows you to build any application you want, zero programming at all. What we're going to do is take our UI from V0 and put it into here. Just as a quick introduction to Cursor though, I'll show you around a little bit. So it doesn't look like much is going on here, but what you're going to want to do is first follow along. So download Cursor, link down below. Let's start a new project in here. Then I'll take you fully through Cursor, show you every little thing you can do, and make sure you're a Cursor pro by the end of this. The first thing we're going to do is hit Control tilde. That's going to open up our terminal. What we're going to do is install Next.js, which is the technology that's going to back our application. Once we have that installed, I'll take you around Cursor, but feel free to copy what I type in here. npx create next app at latest. So first things first, before I hit enter on this, if you've never used npx before, so if this is your first time ever installing an application, make sure to hit Command K and then say install npx. And then hit enter, and that what the AI will do is actually install npx for you. Command K just opens up this little AI window right there where it'll do things for you. So if you've never used npx before, do that, hit submit, it'll walk you through that. But if you've already done that, then do npx create next app at latest, hit enter. You're just gonna hit yes on any options it gives you. What we're gonna name the project. So for me, I'm gonna name this calendar because I'm building out a content calendar. Hit enter. Hit yes on all of this. All right, so that went through and built everything out. And then we just do CD space calendar or whatever you're naming your app. Then you hit tab to autocomplete, then enter. Now we're in our project. Now let me take you through Cursor and show you how it works. So first things first, if we go over to the top right here, this is the AI pane. When I click that button, in here, we can talk to AI, ask it to build code for us, ask it to build out applications, ask it questions. Hey, what do you think we should do here? I like to use the AI as a business consultant, where as I'm building out the app, I'll say, hey, what do you think of this? Do you think this is a good idea? How would you improve this UI? But if I want to make major changes to code, build out major functionality, I like to use the Cursor Composer. So if you do Command-Shift-I, that opens up the Composer. And what's really powerful about the Composer is it is able to write code across your entire code base. There's no other tool like this on the market. You can open this up, say, build me out a calendar. It'll build all the different files for you, get the code in all the right places, and build out the functionality on its own. This is where we'll be spending most of the time, is in the Composer. So the two big things you need to know here: the AI chat panel for asking quick questions, and then the Cursor Composer for building out code and giving it commands. Over on the left-hand side is all your code files. So if you open up your app, you can see all your different files. If you open up src source and then you click on page, this is kind of your main file. This is where the main code will go, but the Composer will build out all the code you need. So you don't need to worry about this at all. Again, no coding experience necessary for any of this. So let's do this. Before we start building out the calendar or whatever app you're building, let's run this application, just show you what the default app looks like. So you're going to type in npm run dev. This is going to run your application. You hit enter on that. What you can see here is it gives you a link. You command click on that link. It pops open a window. I pull open the browser and you can see your application right there. So this is your boilerplate Next.js code, but if this is your first time running an application, congratulations, you've literally built your first application. There you go. Now we're going to edit this and build out our solution. Okay, so let's come back in here. Let's install that UI we built in V0. So I come back into V0. What we're going to do is click this button up top, add to code base. Click that copy button. That's going to copy our command in. Now let's go back into Cursor. We're going to open up a new terminal. So click that plus button. That opens up a new terminal for us. I can hit Command V to paste that in. And then you just go ahead. When you open up the new terminal, make sure to CD back into your project again. So we do that. Paste in our prompt and then hit enter. That is going to install our UI for us into the application. So that will run. And just like that, you'll have a UI built out. So let's just do yes for all the default options here. That's going to install the different components, all the visuals, all the UI for us. All right, that is all installed. Now, this next part, you're going to need to follow along very closely with me. This is what's going to actually implement the UI into our application. So go ahead, click source, app, page.tsx. Once you're in here, look for the return. So it's going to be on the fourth line, and then highlight everything inside of it. So everything with inside those parentheses, just like that, backspace. So it should just be returned there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit enter. We're going to create a fragment. So you do 2 arrows like that. It should autofill that there. Hit space. And now we're going to put in the new calendar, the new component it built out. So we need to figure out what the name of this new component we installed was. So click on the component that was just installed. So you look under components, then click there. And then we can see that this is called content creation tool component. All right. So we can come back in here and we do content creation tool. And then that should autofill for you. And you can hit tab to autofill that. And if you hit tab again, it imports it for you up here. So boom, that's all good to go. It looks like there's just one error. It does look like I need to install the calendar because that's underlined in red. And I did remember just now, it did ask us in the instructions to install this. So I'm just going to quickly copy this calendar, come back into Cursor and paste that in as well. Hit enter. All right, boom, that installed the dependency for us. So now let's pull over and see what we got back in our window. Boom, look at that. So we have our content calendar built out. That is awesome. We can enter in our ideas, video about AI. I can hit add idea. Wow, that's nice. Okay, and then we have the calendar on the right. I think it's time we start building out the functionality here. So I'm going to show you how to build out functionality in your app using Cursor. I think the first thing we want to do, and this might be one of the only things we do here to kind of build the MVP, it's really critical when you're building out SaaS solutions, software for people that are solving problems, that you want to get your MVP out as quickly as possible. The MVP stands for minimally viable product. The moment it's in a shape where people can start using it, you want to get it out, get people to start using it. And that's what we're going to do here. Right? So the first thing we want to do is be able to put this idea onto the calendar. So I'm back in Cursor. I'm going to hit Command-Shift-I. We're back in the composer. Now we're going to start telling it in plain English exactly what we want to build out in our app. So let's do this step by step. When doing anything Cursor related, when you're building out new functionality, you always want to do it step by step, break it down to its smallest components so the AI can do every single step to the best of its ability. If you try to one-shot everything and just tell it everything all at once, a lot of the times it'll mess up. You just want to do it step by step. So let's do this. I just want to add a date field under the input here. So I'm going to tell it in plain English, please add a date picker under the input area. I hit enter. Starts building out the code for us. Tells us exactly what we need to install. I can copy that as it's building out the code. I hit accept all. I install that component it asked me to install. All right, let's pull it back open. Okay, so we got the input here. So let's build a YouTube video. Now let's see if I can select a date. I put it for tomorrow. I add the idea. Okay, so let's see. Next thing we want to do is make it so that whatever date we choose, it puts it on the calendar and displays it next to the idea. So we're starting to attach the date to the actual idea. So again, Command-Shift-I. Go back into the composer. What's great about the composer, it has total context. So it remembers everything you asked before, so you can chain commands. Now take the date I chose and attach it to the idea. Make it so the date displays next to the idea on the left-hand side. I hit enter. Then it starts building out that little piece of functionality. Then after this, we'll build out another piece of functionality. So that code's generating for us here. I just sit here and watch my AI employee develop for me. I hit accept. Let's pull our app back open. Boom, it has the date right next to it. So I can say, tweet this out, give it a date, do it the day after, hit add, got the date next. Okay, so we're making progress here. Let's have it show on the actual calendar itself. All right, so I'm telling it, now I want the date to display in the actual content calendar itself. When I assign a date to an idea, have it show up on the calendar. So it's building that code out for us. I hit accept. I'll pull this back over. Let's refresh this to start new. AI YouTube video, give it a date, Friday, add it. Boom, look at that. On our calendar now is the actual idea itself. Okay, so now let's do this. Send out a tweet about the video. We'll do it for a week later. Save that. Boom, it goes there. So this is really cool. Now we have really awesome functionality being built out here. We have an actual true content calendar we built in just a few minutes. So far, what we've done to kind of recap where we're at, we searched for problems people our niche typically have. We searched for solutions to solve it, and we're building out that solution. Pretty amazing. So now let me show you how I use the AI chat panel over here on the right-hand side to show you some other ways you really can use Cursor to generate ideas. So let's say this. We are building out a content calendar. So far, we have the ability to write ideas, assign them to a date, and see them on the calendar. What are other cool, simple ideas we can add to our app that will solve creator problems? So basically what I'm doing is using the AI as a consultant, right? We came up with ideas, we built our app, now we want to find ways to refine it. The AI is going to now help us refine that idea and give us more little features and functionality we can add to solve more creator problems. Hit enter on that. Again, you should always be using your AI as a consultant. Anytime you trip up, have a question, don't know what to do next, you go to your AI, you ask it the questions, it gives you the solutions. Here are some ideas to enhance your content calendar app. So we can do reminders and notifications, tags and categories. Ooh, I actually kind of like this. So we can differentiate between tweets and videos and all that. I like that a lot. Let's go back into the composer and add that in. Okay, so the prompt I'm going to give it is, I want to add a tags and categories field. Make it a drop down with the options of Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. All right, so we're going to add that. And also, look at this. I mean, I really wasn't very precise with what I was asking here. It kind of figures out what you want to do. Even if you don't give it all the detail, it'll make its best guess and make it relevant. So it's writing out the code for us. I hit accept all. Now let's pull open the app. Okay, so we have a category. So film a YouTube video. We'll give it a date, give it a category, YouTube, save the idea. Okay, so it puts the category there. And now we can see as we add ideas, every category we have in there. I think this is a pretty cool app so far. I think this definitely solves some issues when it comes to scheduling out content. And I think what this really shows you so far too is the power of V0 plus Cursor. I didn't write a single line of code and now I have a full application. But here's the thing though, building out an application isn't enough anymore. Anyone can build out applications. Because Cursor is out, anyone can build applications. That's not a moat. Programming is no longer a moat. Before, if you knew how to program, you had an advantage because not many people knew how to program. But because of AI, literally anyone can program. So now the moat is this. The moat is distribution. The moat is marketing. Anyone can build apps now. Not anyone can market. What I'm going to show you now that we have this app we built out here, we have the solution, I'm going to show you the best ways to market. And this comes from my experience of building my Twitter account to over 220,000 people. This is also how I'll be marketing my software that I'm coming out with in a month now that already has thousands of people on the waiting list. So now let's cover the marketing side of building our app. Marketing is where your moat is, right? As I said, anyone can build apps on Cursor. Marketing is where you're going to be able to make your money. I'd say one of the most valuable skills you can possibly have nowadays is community building, right? A lot of people can build apps. Not a lot of people can build communities. This is where the power of content creation comes in. I've been writing on Twitter now for 3 years. In 3 years, I've built my audience to 221,000 followers, as you can see here. But you can do these strategies I'm about to show you even with 50 followers, 100 followers, right? This is really, really simple stuff that will be able to get you people to your app. Through Twitter, you can very easily start building a following and a community. There's two main strategies to do this. One, tweeting about your niche. So tweeting about whatever problem it is you're solving. Again, I'm building an app right now that is a content creators app for generating ideas. So a lot of what I talk about is content creation, talking about better writing, talking about generating better ideas, talking about how to build an audience. That is what I tweet about a lot. So twice a day, I'm sending tweets out about building an audience. This will start building you a base of content that will give you authority in your niche. At the same time, you need to start building your community. This is done through a reply guy strategy. With the reply guy strategy, what you're doing is you're going out, replying to other posts and getting your name on the map. By replying to other people, people will read your replies, start seeing your name in their head, which will then in turn start building your brand. Reply guy is not only the best way to build your brand, it's also the best way to build a following. When you're a smaller account on X, you get way more visibility to your name through replies than you do through your tweets. So while you're tweeting twice a day, you go out and do a reply guy strategy. How do you do that? You do that with lists, this feature right here. What I'd highly recommend you do is go into lists, create a new list, find as many people as you can in your niche and add them to that list. As you can see here, I have a lot of AI lists. I'm super into AI. I build AI content. I've built lists of a ton of other AI content creators on X. So if I go into AI developer tools, I have a lot of other accounts here that talk about AI developer tools. What I do is I spend 15 to 20 minutes a day going through this list, replying to every tweet on this list. What this does is every creator on this list will start learning my name, start seeing me more often, and help me build authority in my niche. So while I am not only tweeting about my niche of content creation, I'm going in here and I'm replying to other content creators so they get used to seeing my name over and over and over again. What this does is build your brand and start building your community. Your community is the reason you're going to sell software, not the software itself. Anyone can build the software, but not anyone can build a community. There's two things I'd recommend doing from here. One is setting up a landing page for your software. That can be done through V0 as well. You can easily have V0 build out your landing page for you. This way you can start collecting email addresses for a waiting list. But number two is set up a newsletter as well. Newsletters are some of the best selling tools on the planet. You create your community on social media, you move them over to your newsletter. Then on a weekly basis, you can send them emails to your newsletter, which will then remind them of your tool. I have this newsletter here I set up 3 years ago. I've been sending out newsletters on a weekly basis on here for 3 years, and I'm able to easily talk about my tools, my software, and get the word out to my community. I have over 30,000 people subscribed here. If you're interested, that's down below as well. But this is how you start building your community, through content. Continuously pushing out content about the niche you're solving problems for. You get people to discover you through your content, then you push them to your solution. Your content helps you find people with challenges. Your software gives them the solution to those challenges. So here's your homework assignment. If you do these 5 things, you will be well on your way to making your first $10,000 app. Number 1, figure out what you're interested in, right? What is your niche? What are areas you can start building solutions in? Number 2, start creating content, right? This is what's going to build your authority around your niche. You can do Twitter, you can do YouTube. You're on YouTube already since you're watching this, so maybe you just start doing this on YouTube. Either way, start creating content around your niche. Number 3, find challenges with AI. I showed you how to do this with Claude earlier. Go into Claude, brainstorm some challenges around your niche you're starting to create content for. Start building the solution with AI. Download Cursor, use V0. You can build solutions for problems very, very quickly and get them out the door. And then lastly, build your community. Build it through content, build it through live streams. That's something I'm doing a lot now is I'm doing live streams on Twitter. Very easy to do. Start building your community. This will start getting you potential customers. You sell your software at $50 a pop. You sell it to 200 people. Boom, you have $10,000 just like that. All I do is create videos around AI and entrepreneurship. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, turn on notifications, and leave a like if you learned anything in this video. Also, feel free to let me know in the replies anything else you'd like me to build videos on when it comes to AI. See you in the next video.